I agree that he should have went to Philly. Philly gives him the best chance to get to the Eastern Conference.
Former #1 overall pick Kwame Brown went live on his channel to react to one of the biggest stories to hit the NBA world in recent memory. LeBron James sent shockwaves through the basketball world after officially signing a 2-year, $80 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Kwame didn't waste any time breaking down why this move, teaming up with Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid, could completely reshape the final chapter of LeBron's career. He also made the case that this decision could seriously shift how fans view the greatest of all time conversation. So, do you agree with Kwame that this move actually strengthens Michael Jordan's case as the GOAT? Or do you think LeBron can silence his critics for good by helping deliver a championship to Philadelphia and securing ring number 5? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
You know that's trained to go. Now you're that third piece. You also have Joel Embiid, somebody that now don't have to play until he's super healthy. If I'm Philadelphia, I'm saying Joel Embiid, only play when you feel pristine.
Kwame jumped onto his Kwame Brown Bustin' Life live stream with his crew fired up, shouting, "We the Brown Boys." The energy in the room was through the roof. Whenever Kwame weighs in on major NBA news, a lot of basketball fans tune in, mainly because he speaks his mind without sounding like he's reading from some polished TV script or rehearsed media talking points. Right out of the gate, Kwame said he actually understood the logic behind LeBron choosing Philadelphia. While the sports world spent weeks debating whether he'd return to Cleveland, head back to Miami, or even explore a move to Minnesota, Kwame felt like the real answer was a lot more straightforward. In his view, the 76ers gave LeBron the clearest shot at real championship contention without asking a 41-year-old to carry the weight of an entire franchise on his own.
Sense that LeBron did this, but it don't make sense that he left the Lakers and complained about the same thing that he's about to do for the 76ers. Because he's about to be the second, or he's about to be the third option most nights. Sometimes the fourth option.
Kwame broke it down further, explaining that Philadelphia isn't just some random landing spot. In his view, it's a roster that's already built to win right now. The team is loaded with talent still in the prime of their careers, guys who can shoulder a heavy share of the workload. First up is Jaylen Brown, who reportedly landed in Philly following the blockbuster trade involving Paul George. Kwame described him as a championship-tested player, someone who can score from all over the floor, defend at an elite level, and take games over when his team needs him to. Then there's Tyrese Maxey, one of the fastest and most electric young guards in the league, someone who can create offense both for himself and everyone around him. Maxey averaged roughly 25 points a game last season, playing with relentless energy, blazing speed, and sharp shooting from deep. Kwame's point was simple. With Brown and Maxey both capable of leading the attack, Philadelphia already has 2 legitimate scoring threats to carry the offense most nights. And that, he argued, changes the entire equation for LeBron. Instead of being expected to drop 30 a night, he can settle into a completely different role, picking his spots, controlling the tempo, making the smart read, and letting the younger stars take over when they're heating up. According to Kwame, that's a far better setup than asking LeBron to single-handedly bail out a team every night. From there, Kwame moved into what he considered one of the most crucial pieces of Philadelphia's puzzle: how they handle Embiid. He laid out what he calls his race car theory, and the idea behind it is pretty simple. Over the last several seasons, Embiid has put up dominant regular season numbers, including averaging over 30 points a game. But by the time the playoffs roll around, injuries and accumulated wear and tear have too often become the storyline. Kwame's take is that the 76ers need to break that cycle. If it were up to him, he'd have Embiid play only when he's fully healthy and ready to go. Forget chasing regular season accolades or trying to suit up for every game. The real objective is making sure Embiid is at his absolute peak once the postseason arrives. Kwame compared him to a high-performance race car. You don't take an expensive race car out for a hard run every single day. You protect it, maintain it carefully, and save it for when the big race actually matters. In his view, Philadelphia's priorities should be having Embiid fully locked in and ready for late April, May, and June, because that's ultimately when championships get decided.
I think LeBron going to Philly after this. Cleveland after this. I think LeBron going to Cleveland. After this deal is over, I think LeBron will finish his career in Cleveland. If they win the championship, I think he will stay there for one more year.
Even though Kwame liked the basketball fit, he also flagged something he found genuinely interesting about LeBron's decision. He pointed out that during LeBron's final years with the Lakers, there was a lot of ongoing discussion around his workload, coaching choices, and how his role kept shifting as the roster changed around him. Now, according to Kwame, LeBron is walking into a situation in Philadelphia where he'll likely settle for a smaller offensive role. On plenty of nights, Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey could be the team's top scoring options, and if Joel Embiid is healthy and dominant after the All-Star break, LeBron can shift his focus almost entirely to playmaking, leadership, and simply doing whatever the team needs to win. That's a very different role from the one fans have watched him play for most of his career. LeBron even joked on social media that he could average 10 points a game and still be playing until he's 65. Whether fans take that as confidence or just LeBron having some fun, one thing's clear. This move has sparked a massive debate across the basketball world, and everyone's going to be watching closely to see how it all plays out. Kwame couldn't help but laugh at those comments. His take was that this move shows LeBron has finally made peace with not having to be the main engine of a championship team every single night anymore.
LeBron, you're going to have to stop playing. There's no way you're going to be able to play until 45, 50 and still be a freight train.
In Kwame's opinion, this is simply the next stage of LeBron's career, one where experience and smart decision-making carry just as much weight as scoring points. From there, Kwame shifted the conversation toward the money, saying the numbers speak for themselves. According to the reported deal, LeBron went from earning roughly $53 million with the Lakers last season to a reported 2-year, $8 million contract with Philadelphia. That breaks down to about $4 million a season, a massive drop from what he was previously making. Kwame pointed out just how significant that pay cut really is, and basketball fans immediately jumped into debate over what it actually signals. Some analysts framed it as a personal sacrifice in pursuit of another championship, while others argued that LeBron's age simply changed the type of contract teams were realistically willing to offer. Reports on his recent seasons also noted a dip in his three-point shooting compared to earlier in his career, which only added more fuel to the discussion. Kwame also brought up another angle worth considering. Looking at how the 2-year deal is structured, he believes it hints at LeBron's long-term thinking. In Kwame's view, LeBron still sounds like someone who believes he's got several more seasons left in him. If Philadelphia wins a championship during this contract, Kwame thinks LeBron could stick around for one more run at another title. But if it doesn't pan out, he predicted LeBron might ultimately return to where his career started, Cleveland, to close things out. Kwame even joked that if LeBron's still sprinting up and down the floor at 45 or 50, somebody's eventually going to have to tell him it's time to slow down, laughing as he suggested LeBron lean further into smooth mid-range jumpers to stay efficient with age, instead of continuing to attack the rim against defenders half his age. Another subject Kwame spent a good amount of time on was Jaylen Brown and how this move could shift the spotlight surrounding him. Having arrived in Philadelphia through the blockbuster trade with Boston, Jaylen now finds himself in a completely different environment. Kwame noted that playing alongside LeBron means every game, every quote, and every playoff performance is going to draw a level of national attention Jaylen hasn't experienced before. Kwame sees that as a real positive overall, pointing out that Jaylen's community work and efforts off the court could gain far more visibility simply because of the media attention that follows LeBron wherever he goes. At the same time, Kwame warned that added attention comes with added pressure. If Philadelphia falls short of a championship, he believes fans and media personalities will spend months picking apart who's most to blame, and in his opinion, everyone on that roster needs to be mentally prepared for that kind of scrutiny. Kwame also joked that Jaylen should keep sharpening his catch-and-shoot game, since playing next to an elite passer like LeBron tends to open up plenty of clean looks from the perimeter, And when defenses collapse toward LeBron, the players around him need to be ready to knock those shots down without hesitation. Then, Kwame made the comment that really lit up his live chat. He said that in his personal opinion, this move changes how he views the ongoing GOAT debate between LeBron and Michael Jordan. Kwame argued that choosing to join an already stacked roster makes it harder, in his eyes, to rank LeBron above Jordan. To back that up, he pointed to different moments across NBA history, noting that Jordan stuck with the Bulls through painful playoff losses before eventually breaking through, and that Kobe Bryant chose to finish his career with the Lakers rather than chase a ring elsewhere late in his career. For Kwame, those examples shape how he measures the all-time greats. He made clear he still respects LeBron's remarkable longevity, his scoring records, and everything he's accomplished over more than 2 decades in the league. But he believes this move reflects a strategy built around joining a roster already loaded with stars, rather than shouldering the load entirely on his own. Kwame then broke down Philadelphia's roster on paper, explaining why so many people already view them as legitimate championship contenders. Even before LeBron's reported arrival, the 76ers already had one of the stronger rosters in the Eastern Conference. With Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown already in place, they had talent covering both ends of the floor well before this move. Adding LeBron gives Philadelphia yet another elite playmaker, another seasoned leader, and another player capable of taking over key stretches of big games. Kwame broke down the production across Philadelphia's core. Embiid has consistently put up dominant scoring numbers when he's healthy, Maxey has emerged as one of the league's most explosive young guards, and Jaylen Brown continues to impact games on both ends of the floor. Layer LeBron's passing, court vision, and basketball IQ on top of that, and it's easy to see why so many fans believe this roster could be one of the toughest in the league to beat. Finally, Kwame pointed to LeBron's recent playoff history as another factor behind the decision. He argued that the last several postseasons have made it clear just how difficult it is for a single superstar to carry a team deep into the playoffs on his own. From his perspective, joining a roster with multiple established stars lets LeBron lighten his workload, stay fresher over the course of the season, and give himself a genuinely stronger shot at another championship before his career eventually winds down. According to Kwame, the biggest question facing Philadelphia isn't talent, it's whether everyone can accept their role. Having 4 star-level players on one roster sounds incredible on paper, but it comes with real challenges. Every player wants to contribute, but winning a championship means someone has to sacrifice touches, shots, or spotlight. Will Embiid be okay letting LeBron run the offense on certain nights? Will Jaylen Brown adjust after years of being a primary option in Boston? Will Maxey still get enough opportunities in crunch time? These are the questions Kwame believes could shape Philadelphia's entire season. If everyone buys into the bigger picture, and if Embiid stays healthy heading into the playoffs, the 76ers could genuinely become one of the toughest outs in the league. Part of why Kwame's commentary drew so much attention is that he approached the story from a different angle than most television analysts. While a lot of commentators focused purely on the excitement of another chapter in LeBron's career, Kwame framed it as a calculated basketball decision from a veteran who understands that sharing the load can extend his window to compete for one more title. In his view, it's a mutually beneficial arrangement. Philadelphia gets an experienced leader with elite vision on a team-friendly contract, while LeBron steps into a roster already competing at a high level. Both sides gain something real, which is exactly why this move has generated so much conversation across the league. Kwame also revisited how Philadelphia assembled this roster in the first place. The trade that brought Jaylen Brown to the 76ers was, in his view, the turning point. Brown was already regarded as one of the league's premier two-way players, and adding him gave Philadelphia another foundational piece to build around. Kwame argued that acquiring Jaylen helped create exactly the kind of championship-caliber environment that would naturally appeal to a veteran like LeBron. Agree with it or not, he believes that trade is what made the roster attractive enough to draw LeBron in the first place, and now the balance of power in the Eastern Conference suddenly looks a lot different. Teams like the Knicks, Bucks, and Celtics may all find themselves staring across the court at a Philadelphia squad loaded with proven talent and playoff experience. Kwame circled back to his race car theory regarding Embiid, reiterating that his health could ultimately decide everything. A fully recovered, fresh Embiid entering the playoffs changes the entire complexion of this team. Paired with Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, and LeBron, a healthy Embiid would create matchup problems on both ends of the floor for any opponent. For LeBron personally, this chapter could end up being one of the most talked about stretches of his entire career. If Philadelphia wins a championship, supporters will point to it as proof of his remarkable longevity and his ability to still perform at an elite level across multiple franchises. Others will likely see it differently and keep debating what it means for his overall legacy. Either way, the conversation isn't going away anytime soon. One thing does seem certain, though. Philadelphia will be under a microscope from the very start of training camp. Every win will generate buzz, every loss will spark debate, and every standout performance will dominate basketball headlines. That's simply what happens when a roster with this much star power steps onto the court. Kwame also cautioned fans not to judge the season too early. There will likely be games where LeBron scores less because he's focused on setting up teammates. There may be stretches where Embiid sits out to preserve his health for the postseason. None of that should be read as a sign that something's wrong. The real objective is making sure the team peaks when the playoffs arrive. At the end of the day, Kwame believes this is one of the most fascinating storylines the NBA has seen in years. A future Hall of Famer stepping into a new phase of his career, joining a stacked roster and chasing one final championship. That's the kind of storyline that's going to keep fans talking all season long. Whether it ends in a title or falls short, everyone will be watching every step of the way. So now it's your turn. Do you agree with Kwame Brown's take, or do you think LeBron still has what it takes to shift the conversation with one more championship? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we genuinely want to hear them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other NBA fans so they can jump into the conversation too. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next breakdown, breaking news, or deep dive into the biggest stories in the league. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.